Hey, I'm Alex. I am an unprofessional, and that just means that the things I'm going to talk about, review, and my opinions come from a person with no sort of expertise, training, or anything of that sort whatsoever. I'm just offering my thoughts and opinions, and yeah. So, if you're watching the video about the chicken nuggets, then you know that I am making those chicken nuggets right now in the air fryer, and I have some other stuff I wanted to review and talk about. One being this Khloud popcorn. You know what, like my camera is not great, but here, Khloud popcorn. I probably should have done this with the chicken too, but the Trader Joe's chicken nuggets, I mean, you just gotta go in and look for your Trader Joe's chicken nuggets. It's in the, you know, I shouldn't be even talking about that because we're here to talk about Khloud popcorn. So I have two flavors here. One I already started eating yesterday. This is the blue bag. This is the blue bag, which is just olive oil and sea salt. And this is the yellow bag, which is white cheddar. They also had a kettle corn bag. I'm not always the biggest fan of kettle corn. Like I can't do a lot of it, so I didn't even bother to get it. But Khloud popcorn, Khloud, is protein popcorn made with real ingredients and 7 grams of protein per serving. They are both whole grain, gluten-free, and non-GMO. You get 4.0 ounces or 110 grams of popcorn per bag. They tout that they have the good stuff, simple ingredients you can pronounce, naturally derived complete protein made with olive oil, full of taste, no artificial flavors or colors, no fillers or fake stuff, no unhealthy seed oils, and no chalky aftertaste. Oh no, that's the same. I thought the olive oil thing was on here specifically because it's olive oil and sea salt. Yeah, and on the back you have their like slogan or mission statement. At Khloud, we believe that nutrition should be tasty. Our flavorful snacks are full of only the good stuff, zero fluff. They are delicious, crafted with protein, and always made with real ingredients with no added or artificial flavors. With Khloud, you can expect more from your snack. Chloe with a K and an apostrophe on the E. Made from Khloud Inc. in Los Angeles, and it is women-owned and operated. That's always cool to see. Good source of fiber. This one's made with real cheese. Obviously, this one's made with real olive oil. And so I was looking at the ingredients specifically for this one because there's a lot less ingredients on it. This one's made with popcorn, olive oil, milk protein isolate, which I'm assuming is where the protein comes from, mineral salt, pink Himalayan salt, potassium salt, and sea salt. This one is popcorn, olive oil, milk protein isolate, cheese powder, which is whey protein concentrate, buttermilk solids, cheddar cheese, milk cheese, culture, salt enzymes, granular cheese, milk culture, cheese culture, salt enzymes, salt, sodium phosphate, contains less than 2% of citric acid and lactic acid. So this one has a little bit more protein because there's the milk protein isolate and then there's the whey protein as well in here. Well, I guess it doesn't have more protein because it's still 7 grams per serving. The blue bag is 150 calories and per serving, which is about 3 cups, 4 servings per container. This is 160 calories per serving, which is 2.5 cups, which is a little less, and 4 servings per container. So I think technically, if you're reading this, this has a little bit less per serving, which is also means it's a little less servings per bag, which doesn't make sense. Anyways, it does have the disclaimer that it contains milk, so if you are someone who has an aversion to milk or lactose, like I can be at times, you might want to consider that. So just going in, I clearly like this because I got this late last night, and more than half the bag is gone. So I went in on it. A disclaimer though, I am a popcorn slut. I love popcorn. I will go in on popcorn. My favorite thing about going to the movies is to get popcorn. And I will finish the popcorn and need that refill before previews start. So yeah. So anyways, here's a look at what the popcorn looks like. I hope that auto focuses or whatever, but it just looks like normal popcorn. And actually normal popcorn that you would get from like prepackaged bags like this, where all the kernels are pretty perfect looking. So it's light, it's airy. It has a decent crunch, but it's kind of on the softer side of a crunch. I don't know how loud that came through. It's satisfying enough for the crunch. If I had to compare it to like movie theater fresh popcorn, it's probably like about a B when you compare it to like the A standard of movie theater popcorn. Now the flavor, it's really light with the olive oil and sea salt. In fact, the sea salt itself is really light. I want to say you might get more of the olive oil. And the thing I was the most curious about with this was how strong that, what's it called, that milk protein isolate would be on this, because there's this residue you kind of get on this one, which is, I feel, uncommon unless you're eating something like a cheddar popcorn. Usually olive oil, sea salt, and butter popcorn, you don't get this like white, I don't know if you can really see it, but there is like, you probably can't, but there's this like kind of white sort of substance, powdery substance that gets on my fingers with these. And I do believe that has to do with the protein isolate that is, I think, sprinkled on here or coated on here or whatever. And sometimes you can taste it. I don't really know how to describe it, but there's a little bit of a drier mouthfeel at times. And then you just taste something. It's not chalky. I don't want to say it's chalky, but you taste something that doesn't taste like the popcorn, the olive oil, the sea salt. I think the best way to describe it is if you've ever had evaporated milk and it's not sweetened or whatever, and you just put that on your tongue. I want to say that's kind of what the texture is, and that's what the flavor is. And it's not much of a flavor. It's very minimal, very mild. Now, you may not notice it. And I think the reason I notice it is because I love popcorn, and I just used to consume bags of popcorn like this. This is one of my mom's and I's favorite snack, different brand, but olive oil and sea salt. And me and her used to just fight over finishing a bag. But anyways, if you are someone who really likes popcorn and is looking for a good alternative protein snack that is popcorn, I mean, on the calorie side, if you're one of those people who's maybe worried about the calories with popcorn, then maybe something like Skinny Pop or Smart Pop is a better option, but because it's a lot less calories for a similar product. But if you're someone who isn't as concerned about the calories but definitely wants to get more protein in them, this is a really good option. I give it a solid 8 out of 10. I will buy again. I got these from Target, by the way. Now let me open up this next bag. Okay, so this, oddly enough, smells pretty typical of like cheddar popcorn. It kind of actually doesn't really mark much more of like I think it's Smart Foods white cheddar, which I think is like the standard one that everyone knows. Also, the inside of the bag isn't super coated or powdery, which I think is pretty surprising for like a cheddar popcorn. Usually that bag is coated. Good flavor. The texture is exactly the same as the sea salt one. Good flavor. It's definitely milder than Smart Pop or Simply popcorn, whatever. That black bag with the corn on it, that's the one I'm talking about. Texture-wise, consistency-wise, exactly the same as the other bag. No change there. The flavor, So this one does have enough of the white cheddar on it to give your hands even more of a white chalky substance on it and residue, but it's nowhere near as much as you get from other cheddar popcorn so far. The flavor is definitely a lot milder. Like if you want a smacks you in the mouth kind of cheddar taste, white cheddar taste, then this might not be enough for you. But for me, I actually really like it. I like that it's a bit more mild. It doesn't overwhelm me. It's not overwhelming my fingertips. And it makes me feel like I could eat more without getting that weird, like, sickening feeling. Like, you ever eat white cheddar popcorn and you just eat so much of it that you feel kind of gross? I feel like I could go through this bag and not feel that. Yeah, and the thing I'm trying to feel and taste is the protein. Again, trying to feel if it's making itself known. And I think because the protein is milk based and this is white cheddar, I think it masks perfect actually. Like, I don't think I'm able to pick it out. And I'm trying. Like, let me grab another one of these. Okay, I can feel it on there with that one. Yeah, okay. I had a bigger handful on that one to really see if I can pick it out. And maybe, at best, I definitely can't pick out the flavor that I was like noticing in the blue bag, in the olive oil bag. But I definitely think the mouthfeel of it when you like smashed it up, crunched it up, and like as it sits on your tongue and moves from your tongue down your throat, I definitely feel like there's maybe a different sort of texture. It's a little bit like a velvety texture as you swallow. I'm talking to my ass probably. But that could also just be the white cheddar, but I think the white cheddar and maybe the protein help to combine to give it that sort of interesting texture as you swallow. But yeah, I gave this one an 8 out of 10. I think I would give this one a 9 out of 10. And I think what it does better than this, but you have to like white cheddar and, you know, cheddar kinds of popcorn, is I think it masks and blends that flavor of the protein into the cheese way better, that I can't really pick out that taste. The texture might not be for everybody, I think, because of how, I feel like velvety isn't the way to say it, but I don't want to use the term chalky because I don't think chalky is accurate. The mouthfeel when swallowing might be a little different for people. But also, when you consider that this is supposedly the same, you know, weight and amount of popcorn in these bags according to the front of the packaging, and the fact that this is 2.5 cups per serving for about 4 servings per container, and this one is 3 cups for about 4 servings per container, it's kind of like, wait, so am I getting less product? I don't think you are, but it can be a little misleading. So that's one of the issues for me. And then I think in general, I heard a huge fly. I think in general, white cheddar popcorn could also be a problem because it contains the milk in it even more. And I just feel like I can't give full 10s out of 10s for these for people who might have a lactose issue. Obviously, I don't think it's a huge thing, but let's be real. Like, who is also watching? Like, how often are you really only eating the recommended serving? And I'm gonna destroy this whole bag. Let's be real, by myself. So, if milk was a huge issue, then maybe this might upset my stomach more. Who knows? But anyways, solid bags of really good, I think, protein snack. And I think good solid flavor. 8, 9 out of 10. I got them at my local Target. Hopefully you can find them somewhere near you, like a Target or wherever else they might sell it. Yeah, okay. I do have a problem. I already finished this bag of popcorn.